his challenges? How did he resolve those issues? Whether they were personal, whether they had to do with the social infrastructure of the city, or the environs of the peninsula of Arabia. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the prerequisite for everything, in which you know. And so Allah, He mentions in the Quran, Ya ayyuhan nasu u'budu rabbakum alladhi khalaqakum walladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. And some translators, they translate this, oh you people, Ya ayyuhan nas. This word nas is rich, it's a rich word, and it is tied to perception, how you see something. The human being is a perceptive creature. So he or she is supposed to perceive things to get something out of whatever they see, not just on the physical level, but also intellectually. How were all these things that we're enjoying created? How was this thing, microphone, how was this created? Well, man used his perceptive ability to look into the creation. Maybe he went to the mountains and he heard how the mountains reverberate when he speaks. You go on top of her, hey, la, and he heard the reverberation. Says, I think I can harness that. I'm perceiving that I can put this in a form where I can use it inside of a building. And you'll hear the echo inside of the building. This normally wouldn't happen if man was not perceptive. Does this make sense what I'm saying to you? Okay. So this is a small example of what man, the human being, I'll say male and female, has done over the centuries and over the millennia. That man has looked into the creation and he has brought out of the creation different formulas, different things. As we have mentioned before, you know, Adam was not archaic, even though people may, you know what I'm saying. Adam knew that there was more to water than just looking at the liquid. Adam alayhi salam, he knew that. Later on, man discovered what Adam knew, and he may not have called it H2O, but he knew that there was something other than just liquid there. So man, later in the progression of human beings, discovered that there was 1 part hydrogen and 2 part, 1 part hydrogen and 2 part oxygen, H2O. But a lot of people say, well, you know, the further you go back, the more ignorant the human being becomes. That's not necessarily true. That's not true. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught Adam alayhi salam the nature of all things. So how is he to be looked at as archaic or ancient in the sense of intelligentsia? No, and I'll get off of that, but I don't want to bore you, but these things excite me. They excite me because it gives me another view, another doorway to look through when I think about the evolution of man on this earth by the view of the Quran. So we are to look at the world through the eyes of Muhammad, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Don't look at the world through your own eyes only. Allah has blessed your eyes, yes, and your own mind only. Yeah, He's blessed your mind, yes, but try to look at the world through the eyes of Muhammad, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is a good suggestion from the Imam, isn't it? Amen? I wish I would have had somebody to tell me this long time ago, Imam. To look at the world through the eyes of Muhammad? Okay, what was Muhammad utilizing to look at the world? He was utilizing the Quran. That's what Aisha said. Don't you? We mentioned this before, and I'll keep mentioning it. You want to know something about my husband, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Didn't you read the Quran? She asked. This is a su'al. This is a question she asked the people. Didn't you read the Quran? Okay, there he is. That's Muhammad Rasulullah. That's my husband, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we all want to be followers. We are followers of Muhammad, so we want to see how he dealt with those things. But anyway, يا أيها الناس اعبدوا ربكم الذي خلقكم والذي من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. The key again is the same key for Ramadan. كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. Here it is in the same word. يا أيها الناس اعبدوا ربكم الذي خلقكم والذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. So one scholar translates this as all perceptive human beings. See, if you're not perceptive, don't answer this call. If you're not thinking, don't answer the call. If you had too much turkey and the turkey is weighing on your thinking capacity, don't answer this call because you won't be able to see what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to get. For us as Muslims, every day we give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. La ilaha illallah. Yes, the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he told the Sahaba, the Amirs, when he would send them out to different parts of the peninsula of Arabia and around wherever they went, wherever he sent them to, he said, yes, respect the cultures of the people. Don't try to change the culture of the people. Give them the Quran and my Sunnah. And his logic was, I would say a little small amount of it was, peace be upon the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His logic in saying that was, perchance they will understand that they need to do away with some of their cultural habits. If you teach them the Quran, maybe they will get rid of some of their cultural habits, and the Quran will refine their thinking, and as a result, refine their actions. Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was a wise man. We have to understand that. And the way we follow Islam is not by a cookie cutter example. If you want to bake cookies, then you get the cookie cutter and cut the dough in the same size every time. Islam does not work like that. Allah takes consideration of the conditions of the people. Just like a judge has to listen to someone who's been charged with a felony, and he has to know the circumstances surrounding him or her committing the sin. Well, why did he steal? Well, he had 7 children at home. He didn't have any money. Why did he steal? Well. And the representative says, Your Honor, I throw my client's mercy up on the court. This is Islam. What are you going to do? Lock him up and leave 7 children and a wife at home with no food? That's not Islam. You find out the circumstances. So, translation, all perceptive humans. This is one translation. I like this translation. SubhanAllah, alhamdulillah. Worship, meaning serve, your guardian evolver. See, it says, Nasu nu'budu rabbakum. And we know Rabb means guardian. Right? But the other translation says evolver. So you should not expect to be in the same condition next year, inshallah, if we're here. We should not expect to be in the same condition and the same set of circumstances, being a Muslim, being a believer, that we are in this year, even though our circumstances may be good this year. Alhamdulillah. So therefore, you should be in a better set of circumstances. You see? Based upon Rabb. How he evolves you. How he evolves your family. How he evolves your wife. How he evolves your children. How you are providing for them so that the environment can be feeding their intelligence and their spirituality. Every house or every home, every apartment, kitchenette, or wherever you live, all of that, every one of those should be a mini masjid, a small masjid. But when you step into your home, you should feel as though you stepped into a Muslim's home. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadan Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We're finished with the first portion. رَبَّنَا لَا تُزِغْ قُلُوبَنَا بَعْدَ إِذْ هَدَيْتَنَا وَهَبْ لَنَا مِن لَّدُنكَ رَحْمَةً إِنَّكَ أَنتَ الْوَهَّابُ رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. آمين. والسلام على خير المرسلين محمد وآل آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Two qualities that I want to speak about for us as Muslims, and as you know, our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam had this quality, and I'm going to read through this, but my only request is that you listen and digest these things that I'm about to say. I'm going to read this again. يا أيها الناس اعبدوا ربكم الذي خلقكم والذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. O perceptive humans, worship, serve your sustainer, your evolver, who has created you and those who lived before you. Now, I'm going to pause there because I want you to think about, because people sometimes they don't think about how many generations of human beings lived before you and me. Think about this. Think about this. Don't think all the way back to the first man, as I reminded you the first time, Adam and Hawa. Don't think that far back. Just think back 1445, 50 years. When the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was biologically walking around on this earth. Biologically. And I can say the man. I can say that. Our example, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then think about all of those generations, for real. Think about all of those generations from 1400 years ago all the way till this very moment. A lot of striving, a lot of struggle. Mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers, children, cousins, uncles, aunts. All of them were saying, La ilaha illallah, and they didn't look back. You're not changing me. La ilaha illallah. All the way through all of those generations of people. We should make dua for them. For Allah to bless their soul. To enter into Jannah and ascend to the highest stations of Jannah, for bringing this Quran forward and keeping people interested in Quran and Sunnah of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. People forget about them. They forget about them. Well, I got too many things to do to think about them, Imam. You should think about these people, these brothers and these sisters, these mothers and these fathers, your mother, your father, who helped you when you were young. You didn't know anything about anything hardly. But they gave you the example till you began to, perhaps some of these young boys, they probably do it now. I know mine did. He'd see you going to wash up for wudu, and then he hears the adhan, and then he knows, uh-oh, Dad is finna get the carpet. He's finna get the prayer of the musalla. He's finna get I'm gonna go get the musalla for Dad, or Baba. You ever done that? Did they ever do that before? Oh, okay, I know what I'm talking about. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So what I'm saying to you is we have our own guidance. Our guidance cannot be changed by cultural influences of the world. That's what I'm telling you. You should be thankful. You should be gallant in your following of Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Gallant in your following of the best examples of women that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ told us that the women should be utilizing these women as examples for them in this world and this day and at this time and this moment. Find out who those women were. That doesn't mean that you change your personality. You keep your personality. Brothers, we don't become, sisters, we don't become Muhammad Rasulullah ﷺ. There was only one Muhammad Rasulullah ﷺ, but he's our hero, he's our example, and our characteristics should be refined by his adab, by his characteristics, and by his mannerism. That's the way you make your day better, your life better, your family better, your children better. The environment feeds off of you. You may not, I believe you know it though, because people ask you all the time, what's that religion that you have? Islam. And a lot of people say Islam, Islam, Islam. No, in the Quran it says Islam, the Islam. Why? Because you have a lot of Islams out here. Islams everywhere. Islam is the Islam of the Quran and the life of Prophet Muhammad, his example, alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. That's Islam. Ya ayyuhan nasu ubudu rabbakum alladhi khalaqakum walladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. Well, Imam, you repeated it once. Why are you repeating it again? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala repeats many things in the Quran. He wants it not only to reach our intelligence only, but he wants the message to reach our very soul, our nafs. When it reaches your nafs, then it is imprinted into your soul, inshallah. It's imprinted there. If you are a believer, you will digest it. Once you got it like that, no one and nobody can change it but you, because you got it. May Allah continue to bless you and each one of your members of your family, and bless you to influence people in your world, in your environment, wherever you go, educationally, wherever you go, academically, or whatever, on your job, wherever you go. May Allah bless you to influence people, even if you're not talking to them. Bless them to see your mannerism, your adab. Influence people. Change people, really. That's what happened with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So here's one, just the English term, honesty. Ask yourself, am I honest as I can be? Do I tell my daddy lies sometimes? And then, you know what they say in society, they say, oh, it's okay to tell a little white lie. Well, white lie is just as bad as a black lie, wherever that language came from. A lie is a lie is a lie is a lie. Today, tomorrow, next week, next Monday, next year, it doesn't make any difference. Now, I want to make a statement, and it is political. It seems to me, as a student of the Quran, as a teacher of Quran, Lughatu Arabiya, it seems to me that the people who put together the Constitution of these United States of America, Article 1, Article 2, this, that, and the other, the rules of impeachment, it seems to me that there should be rules before a man or a woman applies to run for an office. Are you hearing me, Mr. Muhammad? There should be rules on etiquette, rules on common behaviors. That if a man or a woman don't measure up from the very beginning, if a person has abused women, if a person has abused children, has conducted corrupt business for year upon year and had no sign of correcting the behavior, they should never be selected and they should never run for office in any country. That would have taken care of this problem that we have now. And everyone, this is our etiquettes are in Surah 23, Surah Al-Mu'minun, ayahs number 1 through 11. They're there. And the etiquettes for the one that's running for office is the same etiquettes for the ones that's going to vote to put people in office. So it's from the top to bottom. Now that's my statement. It didn't happen. So that's the reason why we have such a big problem with passions and emotions and bad business. So Allah, He tells us, be honest. And He tells us to be trustworthy. Those who are faithfully true to their covenants, their duties, which God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordained, honesty and moral responsibility, moral integrity and trust, and to their covenants, meaning the oath that you took. If I took the oath to Allah, I have to check my actions all day, every day. I can't be a good Muslim in the daytime and a criminal at the nighttime. I can't do that. That's not the way of Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's not in the Quran. You can do good all week until Friday Jumah. That's the other people do that. Many of them, not all of them. Many of them go to the holy day, sin all week, and then their holy day. Some Muslims do this too. Right now. And then they come. How come you didn't work on it during the week? You work on it during the week, you'll be a better fellow, a better sister, a better brother. On Friday Jumah, Allahu Akbar, you come with more moral integrity, more intellectual insight, more perceptivity of the Quran and the life example of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I'm going to share some with you. I'm taking a little reach here, so we have some guests here, so I want to relate a little bit. Y'all listening, inshallah? Okay. You listening? This is a bit of a rhyme here. One man asked another with a bit of a stutter, "Has Trump got you down in the dumps?" The other man said, "I'm doing just fine the majority of the time, and here's the reason why. The birds still sing, the sun still rises in the morning, and the clouds still float across the sky. The children still play, and lovers still love, and the philosophers are still asking, why?" And my addition to that is this: Allah is still the God, Huwa al-Khaliqu kulli shay'in, and He's still the creator of everything. That's never going to change. Allahu Akbar. That's never going to change. So if I'm giving myself to Allah 100%, as much as I possibly can, you are doing it. You trying to live this religion every day? Well, then Allah got you, no matter what trials and tribulations you may be going through. Just don't mistake something else for Allah. Don't depend upon something else like you depend upon Allah. Give your dependence upon Allah 100%, and then He'll show you, He'll manifest to you the directions that He wants you to go in. Well, Allah tells us, وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِأَمَانَاتِهِمْ وَأَحْدِيهِمْ رَاءُونَ. And they are those who are to their trusts and to their promises. You are attentive to your trust. What did you promise Allah? What did you promise Allah? What did you promise your mama and your daddy? Did you promise your daddy you were going to be doing good every day, all day? Or you wait till you get from around him and you do some little stuff like kick over a trash can and run down the hallway? Be honest with yourself and your Lord. This is Muhammad. In the long run, and in the short run too, you are going to be the winner. You're the winner. Because we all are going to be questioned. We put away our brother Hamza. Some of you knew Hamza. Rahimahullah alayhi. And the family was there. At Janazah, family was there. Put his body into the grave. Made recitation. Had some words to say. Hamza stayed, the rest of the people left. And it is recorded that whenever the body is covered up, then the soul begins to be questioned about things in this life. Who is your Lord? Who is your prophet? What is your book? Basic things. And then in another hadith, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, it says the first thing that the nafs, the soul, will be questioned about is his salawat, is his or her prayers. You hear this? Did you say your prayers on time? Yeah. Are you sure? Did you make up your prayers? You missed one. This or that. Did you make extraordinary prayers to make up for those that you missed? See? This is the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Going to be a question about those things. This is the Ummah of Muhammad. We're not trying to copy anybody else. I'm not interested in copying somebody else to try to replace how Allah wants us to live according to the Quran, Al-Quran Kareem. I'm not looking for something to replace my deen. But I kind of like the way that these people do it. What? You kind of like what? When you had the best example in front of you all the time, and you kind of like this, and you kind of, but it's not something that the Rasulullah ﷺ used to do. But I kind of like that, Imam. Well, you kind of like that all the way into the grave. But we should be loving what Allah gave us in the Quran and what the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ gave us as an example. Please remember the little rhyme that I gave you. And they are those who are attentive to their trusts, their oaths, their promises. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَلَى صَلَوَاتِهِمْ يُحَافِظُونَ. And they are hafid. They protect their prayers like you would protect precious eggs. You hear this? Don't crush your opportunity to be in touch with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't disrespect the sensitivity that Allah has, the emphasis that Allah has put on fard salat. Don't disrespect that, inshallah. You can say inshallah in your mind, you might say it out loud. And then the one that does those two things, they render back their trusts. They try to be as honest as they possibly can. Those who carefully maintain and protect their prayers. And then Allah says, الَّذِينَ يَرِثُونَ الْفِرْدَوْسَ هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. Those who do that, they will inherit al-firdaus, highest stations of Jannah. It doesn't cost much to go to heaven. We just have to follow the guidelines to get there. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، له الملك وله الحمد وهو على كل شيء قدير. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. آمين. إقامة الصلاة. Please stand, make your lines straight as possible, and think on no one but Allah. Try not to let anything be in your mind and heart besides Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.